Hi, I'm Robert Newton, Executive Event Producer with Travel Meeting and Events. I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through a few simple tips that may enhance the production value of your video conferences and hopefully make it a much more engaging experience for both you and your audience. I will touch briefly on lighting, camera position, audio, some presentation tips, and some other things that will hopefully be of value to you. First, let's talk about lighting. One of the easiest things you can do to improve the look of your video is to adjust the available lighting around you. This could mean moving a desk lamp or two in close proximity, or it could mean changing your position to be closer to a window to take advantage of natural light. In my personal setup, I have two standard desk lamps located on either side of my desk to provide even lighting. It's important to note that you'll want to avoid the light shining directly on you, as this can wash you out and not be very pleasant. You want to avoid at all costs sitting with your back to a window or any other bright light source, unless you have additional desk lighting. This will cause the ever-popular silhouette effect that I'm sure many of you have seen many times. If you're conducting a high volume of important video calls, you may even want to invest in an LED ring light, which is a simple device that can provide even illumination from a single source and will come with additional features such as brightness and color temperature adjustment. Next, let's move on to camera and camera position. Whether you're using an external webcam or your laptop's onboard camera, you want to ensure that your camera is at eye level. This is very important. There are many firm-issued computers where the built-in webcam is located at the bottom of the monitor screen. This is definitely not a favorable vantage point, and it would be a good idea to consider stacking your computer on books to elevate to eye level. There may be some situations where you need to connect by a mobile device. If so, please make sure you're in landscape mode and you're using headphones. To further enhance this experience, use a mobile phone stand or tripod attachment to hold the device. Now moving on to one of the most important technology components within virtual meetings, and that's audio. Think about your surroundings during your calls. My office happens to be located in the basement of my house. While it offers a great deal of privacy, it's also located next to our air conditioning unit and is in very close proximity to all of our plumbing, all of which can lead to unwanted background noise. When I'm presenting on important calls, I will sometimes make sure my AC is turned off, and I ask family members to minimize the use of running water when possible. If you're using an external microphone, it's good to be aware of where your audio settings are located in the event you need to make any adjustments, such as input control and volume. Remember to mute your microphone when not speaking. However, always remember to unmute when it's your time to speak. It sounds simple, but it happens all the time. Admittedly, as much as I talk about this, I still find myself guilty of doing this from time to time. We've all experienced echo and feedback issues on calls. Unless you have a specific echo canceling speakerphone, such as a Jabra Speak, please use headphones. Next, let's talk about internet connection. A hardwired connection is strongly recommended. If you have an Ethernet cable and can access your router, this would be ideal. However, I recognize this may not be an available solution to many of you. If Wi-Fi is the only option, that's fine. Just make sure you're as close as possible to your router to maximize bandwidth. It's also a good idea to ask other members of your household to limit other Wi-Fi demands such as gaming and movie streaming use while you're presenting. If you're unable to be close to your router, there are some cost-effective Wi-Fi extenders that can be purchased to enhance this signal. It's also good to check your computer to make sure you don't have any additional unnecessary programs running in the background. You can use Task Manager or Activity Monitor to see these applications. In addition, it's never a bad idea to reboot your computer just prior to your presentation. Now that we've talked about technologies, I'd like to touch briefly on engagement and presentation. Virtual backgrounds. We all love our virtual backgrounds, but there are certain things to think about when venturing into this arena. As mentioned before, you are the most important aspect of your presentation. You don't want anything to compete with the background. Avoid backgrounds that come across as busy or may have too many colors. We've all seen people disappear into the details of their virtual backgrounds as well. One way to avoid this is to make sure there's a good contrast between yourself and your natural background. That way your streaming application can better separate you from the image. Next, a little bit about appearance and presentation. Remember to smile. Try to refrain from wearing clothes that are too busy or have repeating patterns like thin stripes or small plaid, as this could cause unwanted patterns on your conference. If you're able to, look into the camera when speaking. If you're reading from notes, try to place them in close proximity to your camera or sightline to maintain engagement with your audience. That being said, you can never prepare enough, and the more you can memorize your presentation, the better the engagement with your audience will be. Make sure you're framed appropriately in the shot. Head and shoulders perspective is great. Try to sit in a comfortable chair and keep your posture upright. And remember to speak in a slow, measured cadence.
It's easy to speak too fast when reading from notes or if you're excited.
Some viewers may be coming from a second language, so enunciation is key. Now I'll touch briefly on PowerPoint and graphics. Be sensitive that there may be viewers watching by a mobile device or a tablet, so it's important to err on the side of caution and remember that less is more regarding content. Avoid busy slides and small text. Use graphics to visually reinforce key points and try to minimize the quantity of slides that you use. It all comes down to 3 words: simplify, simplify, and simplify. I hope these tips have been of value to you. While I only touched on a few key components, I'm hoping this brief video was informative and will enhance your future virtual presentations. Thank you.